from the 12th of the second month of 1443, Ace of Candles reversed, VIII Strength, and King of Potions. Magnificent ideas get lost in frustration. Repent of unnatural force and be firm in compassion. Lament not and be loyal in each situation in which you are given control. And what are your initial thoughts here?
I saw situations parting, like they're parting and separating, but for a good way. I also saw kings and power, power that things will be worked out. So like a separation, given strength, or it's being worked out.
Well, like this card here is usually you have you have like a knight, and the knight is holding a cup, and it's like either like a lobster or a crab or whatever is in that.
I see seeking.
But here he's got his. Oh, he's so proud of his potion, and I don't remember if this is something that fits in the style of the movie or if it's something in the movie. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie
in a while.
in a while. I did watch it last year because it's like, oh, I got this. I saw this deck for sale, and I'm like, oh, there's someone who would love this, and but anyways, lament not and be loyal in each situation in which you were given control. So see, so he's pleased about his position, and he's using his position. And but it's his emotional state. So he's mastered his emotional state regarding what he has to do. And I don't know the backstory with this. I do think this is I think it's just one of those things that goes by in the movie. Oh, he's just one of the townspeople. No real context as far as I remember. Repent of unnatural force and be firm in compassion. So basically just, okay, now we have to direct this way.
Right.
Kind of like the kids. If anybody is that one kid's dad, those 3 kids that kidnapped Santa Claus. That's got if anybody is that one kid's father, it's him. Magnificent ideas get lost in frustration, and the candles. There's the. Not sure how well that's showing. You got all these bats and stuff going on there.
Yeah, it showed very good. It is.
And there's just not much attention drawn to the bats. I think they could have done a whole series on it, but let's see how closely we can. Is the whole card showing there with this?
Yeah, it's trying to focus.
So this is the sun card.
It's starting to focus a little bit. Yeah.
I can kind of see it. Yeah. And obviously there's a representation of innocence there, but in the Crowley deck, there's a bit more being said there. And we see there, there's that wall. In the Quran, Surah 18, I forget which ayat. But anyways, there's this story of Moses and his companion. And there's a wall. And the wall is repaired. And Moses is like, why didn't you ask for some money? And it's like, you're supposed to be quiet, Moses. And Moses like, I forget which was the last straw, but whatever the deal is. There are people who hid their money in their walls. that
Yeah.
the Israelites encountered. And so when they tore down their houses, when they burnt down their houses, they end up getting treasure. But so the treasure was left for these youths, and when they reached maturity, aka puberty and all that, then they were going to be put in responsibility for their wealth, but they weren't supposed to get it ahead of time. So this is why this, the wall was repaired so that the youths could have their money and have it at the right time. So these kids,
Let's see there's
and that sort of thing implied there, because you see that there's that wall. But Crowley's worked in this thing there that it's the joy of liberation. It's that, you got the chakras, and you make your way past the three, or once the third is dealt with, then you end up okay, I was just trying to find the other card.
Each one. Yeah.
But yeah. So basically, because you're eating and you're drinking, your violent impulses, and then there's the next chakra is the sexual impulses, and then then you've dealt with that properly, or you're dealing with that properly, and then the next stage, honestly, you have your whole body at once, all 7 chakras, or whatever system you have, because there's actually 114 things that you can call chakras once you get into the definition that you're going with, because you have these convergence points, and they help produce neurochemicals and stuff like that. And so there's really 114 in the human body.
Wow.
It's the same for both genders. But just like some things, things may be a centimeter or an inch here and there, or even a couple inches off to the one side versus the other. But it's the same system.
Right. Wow, that's interesting. 114.
But yeah, it's basically one of those maturity things.
Yeah.
And of course, 19 is a very important mystical number. And because it's the value of ahad or achid, depending on which language you're speaking, and that means it's kind of like what I do with the Enochian. 19 is the name of Yod. In Enochian, the number value for Yod, or it's their word for God, is of abundance, is with all. It has the number value of 19. So 19 times 6. 6 is the number of in the Kabbalistic tree. 6 is the supreme balance number, because you're not totally head, you're not totally feet, you're actually sort of more in the middle than anything else. But it's the area where you totally get liberated. Like you have your I'm jumbling about a bunch of things, but whatever.
It's interesting. I'm taking notes.
If you break up the tree of life into your deeds, you got your creed as at your feet. So you finally step up into the body of Adam Kadmon or whatever, and you got a good creed going on. Now this isn't Kabbalah actually stems from part of Kabbalah actually requires Sufism to exist first, but that's another discussion for somewhere else. But so you got your creed, and then you have prayers and scrying and those sorts of rituals. Because like when you do Solomonic magic, you're doing things in the sphere Yesod, and so the moon sphere. And so that's where prayer and all that sort of stuff is. And then you have charity and all that. And then you would have stuff like fasting and other austerities. And then you'd have like pilgrimage and marriage and all that. So it's your socially liberated center. And the sun card, in a way, is there, even though its placement is not that high. I mean, because you have the 22 or 20 or 30 paths or 24 paths, depending on how many centers you have and depending on which alphabet you're using and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you can see a lot in the sun card. It's interesting, the little crab at the bottom. There's a little crab there, like, I don't know, he's kind of encouraging, saying, "Go upward, go
Well, because
upward."
the crab is
He's like
you know,
foundation.
it's really the sign in the age of Aquarius. The crab is really the sign. Well, it's the sign of Cancer, but it's really like the August birth sign. And so the August cross quarter in terms of darkness is like, well, darkness is it's retreating back from its brightest to the darkness. But that's saying keep going, keep going. The darkness is coming, but just keep on going in your path. Um,
Oh, right. Wow.
because obviously it's not too long after you know, one hits puberty, and then about that same portion of life later, then you start retreating into aging.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things going on there.
Right.